Have you ever wondered when you want to purchase anything, you can just hand over a painted piece of paper in exchange, and whatever's printed on it determine its value? By literally adding a single digit more, it can suddenly be worth 10 times more. So how did billions of people agree this is a valid way to exchange items? To understand that, we have to go back thousands of years to the time when money didn't even exist, and even the idea of trading objects for other objects wasn't a thing. So, some behavioral scientists proposed what's called the depth hypothesis. Imagine a hunter returning to his tribe with enough food to feed everyone. The tribe knows how much blood, sweat and tears the hunter gave just to feed them, so they feel a strong sense of depth. So, they give him tools, protection, and food, or social status in return. The exchange isn't written down, but the debt has been created. This may have been humanity's first transaction. As generations passed, favors became the first currency. If someone repaired your shelter, you now owe them something similar of value. People didn't need coins. Instead, they kept in tab favors that needed to be returned. But eventually, humans formed larger communities and lived in vastly different environments. A desert village might have a lot of animals, but very few crops, while a forest village might have plenty of crops, but very few livestock. So tribes began trading with each other. As soon as that happened, ordinary citizens began trading objects to get other objects with each other as well. That created the barter economy. At first, it worked well enough. Chickens for vegetables, hides for tools, a cattle for grains. But bartering had a huge problem. Imagine a cow is worth 10 chickens, but if you want to buy something only worth half a cow, you just cannot slice a living cow in half and still keep it useful. Different interests cause problems as well. Say a farmer needs a new shoes, so he goes up to the shoemaker with a corn to trade for shoes. But the shoemaker doesn't want corn, he wants a fish instead. So the farmer has to track down someone with a fish who wants corn, trade for that, then circle back to the shoemaker. After days, he can finally trade. So one purchase can become a very long, inconvenient chain, making wealth physically impossible to hoard. Your stockpile of fruits and grains decayed only in a few days. Plus, your farm animals often died even before reaching adulthood. You could literally lose your entire life saving within months. So around 4000 BCE, people began mining for metals, and they realized they could shape it to any form they want. So unlike food or livestock, metals didn't rot or die and could not be easily replicated. So instead of using living carbon organisms, people gradually turned to raw earth materials to trade instead. With so many different stones, how do they determine their value? It's actually simple. They just use their weight. So gold became especially valuable because of its rarity, and it didn't corrode. Silver and bronze were also used in different regions. So, for the first time, people could now store large amount of wealth in a relatively small space. Metals also made long-distance trade easier, giving rise to powerful civilizations such as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. But using scraps became a headache, so people melted them into bars. But bars were too large to buy something as small as a rabbit, so they made different sizes. And over time, this became the first versions of coins that had no details whatsoever, with little to no design. That led to common scam called coin clipping. Basically, someone would shave a tiny amount of metal from the edge of the coin. One clipping was barely noticeable, so after collecting thousands of clippings, they could melt them into a new bar of metal. To combat this, rulers started stamping coins with official markings. Around 600 BCE, the kingdom of Lydia became the first to mark coins with symbols that represented the authority of the ruler and guaranteed the coin's weight and purity. Suddenly, a coin wasn't just a metal, it was a promise backed by a government. But coins also created many problems. A wealthy merchant might need thousands of coins to conduct business. Transporting them could require multiple carts that could easily break because of the large amount of weight, or thieves ambushing them became very common. So merchants began depositing their gold and coins with trusted keepers. In return, they receive a written receipt proving that's their gold. If the merchant wanted his gold back, he can just simply hand over the written receipt. And over time, people realized the receipt itself was easier to use than the actual gold. So instead of withdrawing their golds, people just started using different paper notes that have different value to trade. Governments noticed this, so they began issuing official paper notes. Carrying a few pieces of paper was far safer than carrying stacks of metals. Banks then noticed most people did not withdraw all their gold all at the same time, so they started lending and trading some of the deposited gold. This expanded trades and stimulated their economies, but it also meant that there were now more paper claims than actual gold sitting in banks. So eventually, maintaining one-to-one gold backing became increasingly difficult, so governments gradually abandoned the direct link between paper money and gold. Instead Instead of saying this note can be exchanged for a specific amount of gold, the government began saying this note is money because the government recognizes it as money. So that is how we ended up with the system we still use today.